bench, he regards you with a much friendlier expression. Let's talk to him. I guess you're not so bad for a human. It wouldn't hurt to pass a little time talking. Alright, you're a wizard, huh? Of course I am. I'm only of the 4th house, but it makes me formidable nonetheless. If I hadn't been distracted by that serving witch, Trian would never have gotten the drop on me. Okay, if you're not so powerful, why haven't you escaped? Every time Trian casts the Create Reality Pocket spell, he summons the cell from the other world. After he leaves, the cell is cast adrift back in the other world. It's impossible to make that connection from the side. Even if I could break through the bars, I wouldn't be able to leave the cell until Trian returned and re-established the link. At that point, he would keep me from escaping. Alright, let's see. Can you teach me any spells? Interested in magic, huh? I don't reveal my secrets to just anyone. You understand, especially not to humans. He gives you an appraising look, as if hatching a devious idea. You decide to change the subject. Alright. If you hate this dungeon so much, can't you use your magic to change it? Well, if I could get out of these bars, I'd probably douse that glow lamp on the wall. It's impossible to get any sleep with the lamp always shining in my eyes. In order to remove the glow spell that's on it, I'd have to create a shroud of darkness and place it over the lamp, and it's out of reach. He sighs and leans back on the bench. How does it work? He shows you an impish smile. Come here, I'll show you. He approaches the bars and stands there. Hesitantly, you too approach the bars. Now first you need a black cloth. The color is important because black absorbs all light. When you place the prepared cloth over the glowing object, the cloth is going to do just that, absorb the light, albeit to an even greater extent. Then when you cast Shroud of Darkness spell upon it, like so, his hand cut gracefully through the air, tracing glowing magic rune structure, you watch entranced as the spell takes shape. The wizard completes the structure. It hangs in the air, and you study it intently. Focused on memorizing the spell, you fail to observe the wizard's hand slipping into motion again. Suddenly his hand grabs yours, and he jerks you out of your trance. Another spell hangs in the air. Benignly, this first spell fades away, but the new spell begins to take effect. You are staring at the new rune construct in confusion, your hand locked in its iron grip. When you notice a tingling sensation spread through your body, a thunderclap later, and you notice that you are looking at the floating spell from the other side. Immediately, the wizard releases your hand, and through the bars, you see him race out of the room laughing. The spell fades, and you realize that the wizard used his magic to swap positions with you. You are now the prisoner in the cell, and he is free. You drop heavily to the bench. After hours of waiting, Trian walks into the cell. Seeing you sitting on the bench stops him in his tracks. You clear your throat and explain what has transpired. He listens intently and, after a moment of thought, decides to free you. Trian escorts you to his personal chamber. He explains that he was keeping the wizard's secret from the king, so he cannot report the escape. He tells you to forget that you ever saw him and asks you to leave the same way you entered. Trian walks out the door and locks it behind him. Alright, we managed to get our way out of that. Alright. Let's go back to our ship. Steering stone. Back to Drevlin. Alright. Alright, we're going to save again. That was one hell of a long text. Alright, let's see. Let's give the candle holder to Limbeck. Startled, Limbeck looks at you and then at the silver candlestick holder in your hand. This is much better than the pipe I was using. It's very thoughtful of you to offer it. He gingerly removes the candle from the straight pipe, hands the pipe over to you to hold, and jams the candle into the holder. Enthralled, he sets it down on the corner of the table, admiring the holder and completely forgetting about the pipe. Aha, we have a new pipe. Alright, let's go into the tunnel. What do we have to do? Oh, we have to save the one guy. Alright, so we're going to have to do the same thing again to distract the guard. Heat. Cast. Alright, we want to go back to the stairs. Black shirt. Spell. Great Shroud of Darkness. As you weave the spell around the shirt, the light around you dims as if the shirt was drawing it in. When the spell has been completed, you can only make out the vague shape of the shirt, but none of its features. It looks like a hole in the air. Right, click it, put it on the figures. You drape the black shirt over the glowing figurines. The magic of the shroud draws the light from the statuettes into itself until they remain dull and gray. Escaping elves. We don't want to go that way. From the deck, you hear the scuffing of the elves as they board the ship. The Duke whispers to you, "Hide in the storeroom. They'll kill you if they find you here." He points to a hidden door in the back of the galley, off to the west. Alright. You hear some scruffling and shouting orders from the galley. Soon the ship breaks away from its moorings and lifts off. A deep voice booms from somewhere near the door that the ship is entering human-controlled space. All lights must be doused and all noise ceased. If the humans discover the ship's exact position, it could be taken. You slip through a wooden door beneath the rear of the galley. The ship's hold is fairly barren. Only a few boxes and bundles lie on the floor. Alright, supplies. Miscellaneous supplies are piled around the room, but aside from the notable exceptions of the chest and another flimsier box, they include nothing of interest. That's locked. I don't think I can lock it. What about this? You rip open one of the larger boxes. Inside you find a strange device with three metal prongs, which crackle with electricity. A switch has been wired to its base. You shove the flimsy remains of the box to the side. Alright, we're going to take it. Carefully you pick up the electric zinger. It tingles a bit, but doesn't deliver the shock you expected. Activate it. Oh yeah, that gives off a light. Congratulations, you actually succeeded. I didn't expect it, but I am pleased. Andrews and his men are safe. My thanks, friend. Alright. Alright. Very true. That elven ship will certainly come in handy, especially to infiltrate elven-controlled lands. You've proven your worth. I want a reward. How politically put. You're lucky I value my cousin's life as I do. Now what do you want? Perhaps you could supply some information. Certainly. Tell me what you'd like to know. You relate your experiences on Drevlin and explain that you're looking for an artifact that the Kixie Wincy might have buried somewhere. If that's true, only the Kixie Wincy can dig it back up. I'm not sure how I can help you there. Even my learned wizard knows precious little about the Kixie Wincy. He rubs his chin as he thinks. There is something I might be able to offer, though. The Kixie Wincy is an ancient Sartan artifact. Only the Sartan know exactly what it did and how to control it. Since they disappeared ages ago, all that remains are the books and documents they left behind, but they are very scarce. In fact, the only place you can find them is at the Tower of the Brotherhood. Where's the tower located? That's a problem. The tower is located in Skurvash, a smuggler's haven that lies on the border of elven and human lands. No nation governs that city. It's completely lawless. The Brotherhood has an iron grip on the place. Neither we nor the elves have been able to get a toehold. Skurvash is a haven for criminals and cutthroats. It wouldn't be a problem once there to go about your business unnoticed. People go there for the anonymity. The problem is getting you there in the first place. Currently, the elves control space around that area. I can't sneak anyone in or out. Any ship with the markings of the royal fleet is attacked before it gets near the city. What about the elven ship that I just delivered to you? Yes, that's true. We've never had our hands on an elven ship before. They certainly wouldn't be expecting it, especially so soon after its capture. They'd have no reason to stop it from reaching Skurvash. Very well. It looks like my only alternative. Let's get going. Very well. I will staff the elven ship with my own soldiers. They will fly the ship to Skurvash and wait there while you search for your documents. When you have completed your business, they will escort you back to Drevlin. I will assume that this clears me of my debt to you. I wish you luck, friend. You leave the king's castle, reboard the elven frigate, and discover that it's already manned by soldiers from the royal army. A no-nonsense sergeant greets you and signals the others to lift off. Within a few hours, you leave behind all sign of human habitation and on any of the floating landmasses. The only ships you see are of elven design. They let you pass unmolested, that's a weird phrase, mistaking your ship for a member of their fleet. Soon the sergeant points out a dark city on one of the floating islands. The ship glides towards it, but lands a couple of miles away. Alright, to Skurvash we go. We don't want to answer any questions at the regular port, the sergeant explains, such as why King Stefan's men are flying an elven frigate. Better you get a little exercise and walk into town. He waves his hand towards the seedy city in the distance and smiles. Come back when you've finished your business and make it quick. Just be around elven space makes me nervous. But waiting so close to the Brotherhood is downright terrifying. Alright. Let's save. We're in a new place. LPTG. 5. Save. Alright. Skurvash. The Tower of the Brotherhood looms over a plaza flanked by a tavern and an alley. A child plays quietly to one side. Look at the doll. The wooden doll is vaguely human-shaped. It wanders around on its own little legs. You sense that it might be magically animated. The boy watches his wooden doll walking in circles around the plaza. After wandering around, it happily strolls into the dark alley. The boy steps toward it, but stops, appearing terrified. He looks up at you with pleading eyes. Oh, sir, would you please get my doll back? I couldn't possibly go in there. It's far too dark and scary. A boy playing with a doll. I'm sensing something suspicious. You want me to go in there? What's it worth to you? I would give you anything, but the doll is all I have. Please, good sir, I wish I was as brave, as strong, and kind as yourself, but I am not. If you do this for me, I will be in your debt forever. Alright, I'll take a chance. You wander into the dark alley, chasing after the scuttling toy. Its tiny legs don't move particularly fast, so catching it isn't a problem. When you pick it up, you catch a glimpse of rune markings carved into the wood. But before you get a chance to examine them further, a heavy rope net falls from out of the shadows. The child who, not a moment ago, was crying over his lost toy, jumps on top of you and beats you relentlessly with an iron bar until you collapse on the ground. He starts to rifle through your clothing, grabbing any object that he discovers. Alright. This seems like a very... We're going to use magic on him. This seems like a good idea for the swap. Cast. While the young thief paws through your valuables, you take the opportunity to hang the swap spell in the air and grab onto his searching hand. His eyes grow wide as the spell takes hold. With an implosion of air, you and the street rat switch positions. He crouches on the ground, trapped inside of the heavy net, while you stand above him. The street rat looks up at you in amazement, surprisingly unafraid, but a little desperate. You're a wizard. A wizard hasn't been seen in Skurvash since far before I was born. Why are you here? Why are you concerned about what I'm going to do here? Aren't you worried about what I'm going to do to you? Well, of course, but if you're here in Skurvash to find something, you'll need a guide. I can help. I know all the dark and secret corners of Skurvash. If you're new to this town, you'll get nowhere without me. Let me go and I'll help you. Why should I let you go? You've pounded me with an iron pry bar. More likely I should just kill you and be done with it. The boy looks quite afraid, but then recovers. If you wanted me dead, I'd be dead already. A wizard doesn't waste time. I think you need me. My offer still stands. Release me and I'll help you. Stupid smart damn kid. Pull the net. You lift the net off of the child. Some hidden pulleys draw it up high into the shadows of the alley. True to his word, the street rat doesn't run off. Instead, he wanders down the alley and flips aside a greasy blanket to reveal a hole in the wall. He enters and motions you to do the same. This dirty chamber isn't much bigger than a crawl space. It's crowded with street rat's possessions. Well, I'm taking the pry bar. You snatch the iron bar from the ground. It's no stranger as the street rat formally introduced it to your face back in the alley.